should you summon for Dokkan Festival Gamma 1 and Gamma 2? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are determining whether or not Dokkan Festival Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are worth your hard-earned Dragon Stones. As always, in order to figure out whether or not these guys are worth your stones, we want to take a look at the units themselves, the banner, and what's to come to determine whether or not you should spend your stones on this banner. Now, this banner is probably 2 days away at this point. We just got the Dokkan Fest teasers for these guys, and I believe the Twitter campaign did mention that these guys are dropping on the 28th. So it is currently October 26th at the time of me recording this video. So we should see these guys in about 2 days. Now, let's go ahead, let's jump in, let's take a look at the units and determine whether or not the first factor in our equation is worth your stone. So the units themselves, Gamma 1, he is Movie Heroes, Artificial Life Forms, Category Key 3, HP Attack Defense 170%, with an additional HP Attack and Defense 30% for characters on accelerated battles or worthy rivals. He raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causing immense damage to the enemy. He has an entrance animation, and he gives attack 50% while guarding all attacks for 4 turns from the start of turn. He has attack defense 150%, plus an additional attack 100% when performing a super attack. He has an additional attack defense 20% up to 100%, and reduces damage received by 10% up to 50% with each attack received. He has a medium chance of performing a critical hit starting from the turn in which he receives the 5th attack in battle, and all allies key 1 in defense 30% with a great chance of evading enemies' super attack and countering with tremendous power. So this dude is a defensive monster. Once fully built up, once taken all those hits, he cannot be touched. On top of which, he does have an almost 300% raise. What is that? 150, 50, 100, yeah, almost 400% raise on his attack. So he'll end up hitting pretty darn hard while also being great defensively in slot 1. So this guy is insane. Now, paired with the Gamma 2, his partner, Movie Heroes, Androids, Special Pose, Category Key 3, HP Attack and Defense 170%, with an additional 30% to accelerated battle or worthy rivals. He raises attack and defense for 1 turn on his super attack, and he activates an entrance animation just like his partner once only. This guy has defense 50% and launches 2 additional attacks, each of which have a medium chance of becoming a super attack for 4 turns from the start of turn. Attack defense 150% plus an additional attack 100% when performing a super attack. He has an additional attack defense 20% up to 100% with a great chance of performing a critical hit up to 50% with each attack performed. He launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack starting from the turn in which he performs the 5th attack in battle. He gives all allies key 2 and attack 30% with a high chance of nullifying key blast super attacks, one of the most common super attacks in the game. When run together, these guys are an unstoppable force, and they can both cover each other's major weaknesses. So they are really good units. So if we were to factor in the first part of our equation, I would say the units themselves can make this a must summon, but the characters don't exist in a vacuum now, do they? Right? The characters are good, possibly the best TURs on Global Dokkan at the time of their arrival, but their banner, not so much, right? Their banner includes the likes of Tech Ultimate Gohan, Fizz Piccolo, the Tech Androids, AGL 13, and Fizz Broly. Now makes this a 7 featured banner, which isn't too bad, but consider that most of the other units are starting to show their age. Tech Ultimate Gohan is still good, as we proved the other day in our Red Zone video. However, at this point, for most players, you've probably picked up a couple copies or 2 of them, unless you're a completely brand new player. The Fizz Piccolo also, he has his uses. He does have a scatter effect, he does stack, but not in any meaningful way that makes him viable in more recent content. So unless they plan on EZAing him soon, he is definitely dragging the banner down. because he just doesn't stack enough to make him useful. The tech androids, I would say, are a boon to this banner. They are still good. You guys have seen my mini runs with the androids teams. They are always on the run. They are definitely a good pickup on this banner. The AGL 13 definitely starting to show his age, but not a terrible unit, but definitely on the older side of things. And the Fizz Broly, unfortunately, is just there's no way to split hairs. He's pretty bad. He is definitely starting to show a lot of signs of aging, and it doesn't look like he's EZAing anytime soon. So the banner itself, for veteran to mid players, probably not a good idea to summon, especially knowing what's coming. So we're 1 for 1 in the category of summon for the units, and 1 in the category of don't summon for the banner, because the banner is not that great. Now, well, we need a tiebreaker. So let's look at what's to come to determine whether or not we should spend our stones on this banner. So up next, the most likely scenario for the next banner following these guys on November 3rd to the November 5th is the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and Trunks banner. This is the Thank You Celebration banner, otherwise known as the Tanabata Celebration banner and JB Dokkan. If they follow last year's trend with the Tech Gogeta, there's a good chance we're going to see these guys come next in November. Could be wrong, but I feel like this is the most likely scenario. Now, if these two guys do come, right, know what you're giving up by summoning for the Gammas. You are giving up access to the Tech Gogeta, the Vegeta, and Trunks. And I know many of you in my comment sections are talking about how much you guys need to pick up this Tech Gogeta. So summoning on the Gammas is going to take away stones for this banner right here. And that's not to say nothing about the Vegeta and Trunks. They are insane. Easily one of the best Dokkan Fest LRs, bar the Worldwide Celebrations LRs, that have come to Dokkan this year. They are an insane unit, and they work really well with a lot of units that have released this year. Their category for Bond of Parent and Child is a really, really good category. So you are giving up summoning on this banner should you summon on the Gammas, right? So just keep that in mind. Moving forward, if Heroes is your thing, know that you are possibly giving up access to the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta should you summon on the Dokkan Festival Gamma banner, which this banner should be arriving sometime between the 18th and the 24th of November. Hard to say for sure because it's been different on different years, but know that if Heroes is something you enjoy, summoning on the Gammas might take away from that. And then finally, the next factor we have to consider is we are approaching the end of the year. The New Year's step-ups are coming up, and most players are going to tell you that this is a good value for your stones. 200 stones total gets you 5 steps and 2, if we follow last year's pattern, 2 guaranteed LRs, along with a bunch of recent Dokkan Fest LRs, right? If we look at last year's banner, you're talking, right, some of the older LRs who a lot are starting to EZA, right, or have EZA'd already. Basically, the only ones who haven't EZA'd on this banner are the Boo, the Vegeta, the Gogeta, the Broly, and the 17 and the Black. Everybody else has EZA'd, so there's a good chance you're picking up a good category EZA in the first step, right? Then this will obviously be pushed forward with some newer units, and some of the units on here are already starting to look like they can receive EZAs, right? We know we have the EZA for the Namek Goku, the Hit, and now the STR Cooler, so it's possible you could be getting a unit here who's also receiving an EZA sometime soon. The third step does guarantee you one of the older LRs, and the fourth step guarantees a newer super or extreme class category leaders. So this is basically all of last year's category leaders. So it's possible that this year's up to what would now be the Dokkan Festival Pan on Global would be on this banner here. So pretty exciting. And then the final step is all the more recent LRs. So know that summoning on the Gammas, while good, you are giving up access to probably a pretty good value for your stones with the New Year's Step Up. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't need to summon on Step Up, right? You've been playing a while, you have most of these, possibly many of them rainbowed, you may find that this step may not be so useful for you. So that is something to consider, right? So looking back at the banner, we are 1 for 1. 1 summon for the units because the units are good. 1 don't summon because the banner's bad. And our tiebreaker, my final vote is don't summon. Simply because of what's to come. There's too much to come, and there's the potential that these guys will return whenever Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo show up on their banner. So there's a good chance that they'll be coming back pretty soon. I feel like they are. The celebration info on JP seem to indicate that there is a part 3/part 4 coming. So I would say maybe throw a multi or two. If there's discounts, do the discounts. If you're low to play, free to play, and there's tickets, do the tickets. But otherwise, guys, save your stones. There are greener pastures ahead. As good as these guys are, there's too much coming forward with the Vegeta and Trunks, possible heroes if heroes is your thing, and the New Year's Step-Ups. I know I don't usually like to tell you guys not to summon, but I feel this is one of those rare cases where they slotted in a banner for Global Dokkan where there is just too much else you need to be saving for. And that's just my opinion, like I said. If you are low to play, free to play, maybe steer clear of the banner. Do a couple multis or two, but otherwise save your stones for things ahead. If you're someone who's got, say, 1,000 or more stones, I would say do no more than 200 stones and then call it. Save for heroes, save for Tanabata, or whatever else you are saving. But make sure you at least save 600 stones to do all 3 rotations on the step-ups. If you are 800 or lower, same thing. Don't do any more to leave you with at least 600 stones. If you're below 600 stones, I would say steer clear of the banner, right? Don't do any more than a multi or two and save your stones. You need 600 stones to do all of the steps on this step up. It is a 3-round step up after all. So you want to make sure you're rolling into this with at least 600 stones so you can do all 3 steps. So that's just my opinion. Anyways, guys, that's the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know. Do you agree or disagree with my advice here? Do you plan on summoning for Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, or are you saving? Would love to hear what your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.